Hello and welcome back to Mystery Shots. In a dystopian world, where only the best children and their families are allowed to live, while the weak are forced to live in poverty. Students who receive straight A's in school are given a luxurious apartment, a large monthly salary, and a higher social status. Sexual reproduction is prohibited, and women are implanted with embryos in order to reproduce. Women have only one role in society: to be a good mother and to raise their children to be the best students in class. When a child gets good grades, kid's mother is awarded a glowing pin by the government. It is said to be a token of appreciation for the mother's societal contributions. In one such award function, Yang Chuan is called on stage. Her late son, Ru Jia, was the best student they ever had, so she is regarded as the best mother. Before his death, he never received anything less than an A and was Chuan's pride. Currently, Chuan is taking care of her youngest daughter, Nova, who she hopes will make her proud. Like her son Chuan, she has also written a book on how a mother can help her child. In today's society, she is well liked by other mothers, who frequently approach her for advice. A woman in the audience inquires about Chuan's deepest secret about how she helped her children. The question takes Chuan aback, but she quickly recovers and makes up a vague answer. It's clear that she's trying to hide something. At the same time, some government officials are discussing the rise of patients with sleeping disorders according to state law. People with such issues are defective embryos that must be destroyed. This means that in an advancement program, everyone with a sleeping disorder must be killed. Yi Shen, a researcher, notices that almost every person suffering from a sleeping disorder is a student who is struggling in school. This could be because their corrupt mothers do not want to give up their expensive apartments, which would be taken away if the child failed. The semester Yi Shen tells the government officials about his theory, but they dismiss him in reality. They also want to get rid of the underprivileged students who will be of no use to the country. In the end, the advancement program is just a cover for them to kill whoever they want without being convicted. When Yi Shen starts to retaliate against the system, he is falsely accused of running an underground rebellious organization against the state. Chuan and Nova are on their way home from the awards ceremony. Alongside, the students with low scores are being taken to the advancement program. Suddenly, a rebel interrupts them, claiming that the program is a hoax and that they will be killed. Panic initiates when everyone starts running away, trying to dodge the guards. In between, Chuan's scarf falls to the floor and gets dirty. When everyone calms down, Nova goes to the bathroom to wash the scarf. She runs into Lingda, the rebel from earlier, and the mother of researcher Yi Shen. She hands Nova a key ring that she claims was a gift from her late father. Sister Nova is totally confused, but she keeps the gift. Eventually, she notices breaking news on a billboard. Researcher Yi Shen was found guilty of running an underground rebel organization. As a result, he was executed. Nova recognizes her as the woman she met just moments before. Nova is usually quick to tell her mother about everything that happens in her life, but she doesn't this time. Later, she is at home with her private tutor. With each exam, we discover that she is not as good a student as her late brother. Shen is concerned because her grades have been declining. She is more concerned with her grades than with losing the privileges that come with it after the class. The tutor tells Chuan bluntly that Nova may fail the next semester as a result of this. One of the lights in Chun's pin goes off. The tutor explains that it reflects her daughter's declining academic performance. If Nova does not study harder, all of the lights in her pin will go out, and she will lose her top mother privileges to teach Nova. She takes her to the slums, where students with low grades live. Nova, who has grown up in a luxurious environment, is distressed by the sight of filthy streets. She understands her mother's concern and is doing her best, but her grades are not improving at all. Chun takes her pin off to go to the grocery shop, not wanting people to notice the missing light on it. As she puts it down, an alarm sounds, urging her to turn it back on in the state. The pin is equivalent to the responsibility of a mother that she should always carry with her at the grocery shop. She tries her hardest to conceal the pin, but another mother notices it. Nonetheless, when asked how Nova is doing in school, Chuan lies and claims that she outperforms her son. On the same day, she also witnesses a mother being kicked out from her apartment complex due to her son's poor academic performance. Chun squeezes her pin tightly, seeing herself and the woman and fearing a similar future. A few days later, the second light in her pin goes out, indicating that Nova has not progressed. Chan begins to panic as she realizes she will be humiliated if she is kicked out of the apartment. Only the thought is enough for her to take strong measures. The next day at school, Nova acts completely out of character, in contrast to her usual calm and composed attitude. She lashes out at people for no reason and argues with the teacher when called out for her behavior. When Chan knows about the incident, she immediately brings her daughter to the hospital. Throughout the visit, Nova fidgets and is rude to everyone. After evaluating her symptoms, the doctor diagnoses her with ADHD. It is one of these disorders that will send Nova to an advancement program. But, unaware of the program's true nature, she dismisses it. Nova inadvertently hits her teacher on the leg the next day. The problem could have been solved with a simple apology, but instead she asks him to watch where he's going. The argument heats up. When the teacher holds her arm, urging her to apologize, Nova panics and runs to the edge of the building, threatening to jump off it. Fortunately for her, a classmate named Chi Jung intervenes in time to stop her. Chuan brings Nova home and serves her dinner, unaware to what she did earlier. Then it's revealed that Chuan asked her daughter to play the part. That way she secretly knows what happens in the advancement camps and wants to get rid of Nova by sending her to them. As a result, if she is diagnosed with a higher level of ADHD, she will be considered a faulty embryo and Chan will be able to continue living in luxury because Nova's failure will not be her fault. On Nova's birthday, Chan is aware that her classmates will lavish her with gifts to make Nova ADHD believable for everyone. Chan asks Nova that all of the gifts be destroyed. Nova agrees, but her usually nice character doesn't allow her to be mean to the friends who she loves so much. Chuan watches the chaos on a laptop, expecting Nova to do as she is told, but she never does. Nova asks Chi Jong about what happened to her yesterday. Nova makes up an excuse and changes the topic. 11 Jang is a kid from the slums. Although he does well in school, his grades are insufficient. As a result, he lives in a small house with his mother, who works hard to provide for his needs when he returns home. Nova apologizes to her mother for failing to follow her orders. She finds it difficult to be rude to her friends. As a result, she no longer wishes to carry out the plan. Instead, she promises to study hard and get good grades later. Nova discovers the key ring given to her by the lady late at night. She shows it to her mother, who is taken aback. She inquires where it came from and is mad at Nova for not showing it to her earlier. Still, Nova doesn't reveal its significance. In a flashback, we can see the key ring was handmade from Chuan's first son Ruojia. He was an excellent student. His diligence made Chan successful author. At present, Nova begins to work hard to improve her grades. She also stops pretending to have ADHD, which, surprisingly, Chan seems to accept. Then, on her way home one day, she runs into Ling Na the woman. Somehow, knowing that Nova was pretending to have ADHD when asked about how she found out, she urges Nova to read the guidebook that every mother is given while being implanted with an embryo. She also reveals that people are being killed in secret as part of the advancement programs. As a result, Chuan has been urging Nova to pretend to have ADHD in order to keep her privileges at the expense of her daughter's life. Nova doesn't want to believe the stranger, but Lingda doesn't stop there. She claims that her brother Ruojia's death wasn't an accident. Later that day, Nova reads the article about Ruojia's death and discovers that he was hit by a truck, deciding to find out the truth. She goes to see the truck driver, who confirms that Ruojia intentionally ended his life by jumping in front of his vehicle. Nova is shocked because a great student like Ruojia could not be depressed enough to commit suicide. At school, for the first time in her life, she is beginning to realize the truth of her existence and her mother's true nature. She inquires about the advancement program with Chi Jong. In turn, he urges her to be quiet, confirming that he does know something about it but is too scared to talk. The next day, Chun hears them talking on the security cameras and assumes they are a couple. She reluctantly goes to the slums to meet Zai Jiang and asks him to leave her daughter alone. Nova reads the official mother's guide and confirms that she is about to be sent to the advancement program. Not wasting much time, she escapes her home and goes to Chi Jong's house. His mother leads her to a secret tunnel that leads to a camp of advancement program survivors. Several people who are considered rejects by society live there in peace. It was established by Ling Na after her son's execution. She believes that each child is unique and that grades do not define a person's worth. For someone like Nova, the place is still a fantasy. But she has the uneasy feeling that she is betraying her mother. After a lot of thinking, she decides to return home again. When Chan sees her, she simply asks that she eat dinner, oblivious to the fact that she hasn't been home in hours. Nova apologizes for disappointing her once again and promises to study harder. This time, she begs her mother to tell her if she loves her, but Chan does not respond. Nova is in the shower when she feels dizzy and registers that her dinner was drugged when she opens her eyes. She is in a hospital bed, surrounded by doctors who declare her to be a defective embryo. This means she'll have to go to the advancement program, which will be carried out. We see the Chan being implanted with another embryo. She clearly succeeded in getting rid of Nova and now has a new chance with a third child. However, on waking up after the transplant, she finds herself in the tunnel that leads to the survivor camp. Ling Na asks if she is happy after killing 2 of her children, but Chuan is unconcerned. She is only focused on her third child, whom she hopes will eventually make her proud. In the flashback, we can see that Ruojia wanted to be a carpenter, but because his grades were good, Chuan never let him. The pressure of being the perfect student was too much for him, and he died as a result. In the present, Chuan informs the police about the survivors' camp. All of the students are arrested and killed. In an interview to promote her new book, Chuan is asked about her secret to growing an excellent child. She claims that if you really want something to happen, there is always a way. Sadly, the bad women triumphs at the end. Like and comment your thoughts about this mystery shot. And don't forget to subscribe Mystery Shots for more such content.